In an age dominated by instant messaging and social media, the art of communication has undergone a profound transformation. Melissa Kirsch, in a recent piece for the New York Times, reflects on this shift and its implications for personal connections in a world increasingly reliant on quick, often superficial exchanges. As technology continues to shape our interactions, Kirsch's exploration serves as a poignant reminder of the value of more deliberate forms of communication. Kirsch begins by recounting a friend's decision to remove the email app from his phone, a move that stirred nostalgia for the days when emails were more than mere notifications. They represented meaningful correspondence filled with life updates and narratives. This sense of longing for a time when communication was richer resonates deeply as we navigate a landscape where brevity often trumps substance. She notes, before texting, email was an efficient way to communicate. And the way we communicated was in sentences, paragraphs, fully developed thoughts. In contrast, today's preferred methods often reduce conversations to a thumbs-up emoji or a terse response, stripping away the emotional depth that characterized earlier exchanges. In her quest for reconnection, Kirsch proposes that we consider the lessons from traditional communication methods. Drawing on her own experiences, she recalls an attempt to revive letter writing by suggesting to a friend that they send postcards instead of texts. Although the experiment proved short-lived, it highlighted a desire to reclaim some of the magic lost in modern communication. Kirsch's reflections reveal the challenges of reintroducing slower, more thoughtful communication practices in a world conditioned for immediacy. The article also delves into the complexities surrounding phone calls. Kirsch's anecdote of making an unexpected call to a friend, which felt a little reckless and even rude, underscores how societal norms have shifted. In a time when unannounced calls often signal emergencies, the spontaneity that once marked friendly communication feels like a relic of the past. The discomfort surrounding such interactions speaks to a broader trend. As technology has evolved, our capacity for genuine connection has atrophied, replaced by the efficiency of group texts and digital notifications. Kirsch laments the loss of the slow comms era, a time when communication required presence and focused attention. She argues that while technology mediates most of our interactions today, there is potential to restore some semblance of that intimacy when meeting face-to-face. Let's see how irrelevant we can make our phones when we're actually together, she urges, advocating for a more engaged presence in our interactions. By turning off distractions and committing to truly being present, we can cultivate the kind of deep connections that technology often hinders. As Kirsch concludes, she calls for a return to the mindfulness inherent in past modes of communication. She encourages readers to embrace the slower, more intentional approaches that can enrich our relationships, whether through meaningful phone calls, handwritten letters, or simply being fully present with one another. In a world that often prioritizes speed over substance, her reflections serve as a reminder of the profound impact that thoughtful communication can have on our lives and the relationships we cherish. The future of communication may very well depend on our willingness to reclaim the slower, more deliberate practices that have fallen by the wayside. As we confront the implications of our digital age, it is essential to recognize that true connection often requires time, effort, and a willingness to engage deeply with one another. Only then can we hope to restore the magic that once defined our interactions. In a surprising turn of events, the political landscape is being reshaped as prominent figures like Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz assert strong positions in response to a new wave of policies emanating from Washington. This shift comes in the wake of former President Donald Trump's re-emergence on the political stage, sparking concerns about the implications for international relations, especially in Europe. Analysts suggest that the evolving dynamics could lead to significant changes in how global affairs are navigated in the coming years, as Trump's influence is felt once again. Zelensky and Scholz have both expressed their unease regarding a potential rollback of support for Ukraine and other European nations that have relied on U.S. backing amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. We must ensure that our alliances remain strong and that our commitment to democracy is unwavering, Zelensky stated during a recent summit, underscoring the critical role of U.S. support in Ukraine's defense against Russian aggression. Scholz echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the need for a united front in Europe. "The challenges we face require cooperation, not division," he remarked, highlighting the fragile state of European security. The backdrop to this diplomatic tension is compounded by recent revelations regarding the Trump administration's plans for a sweeping overhaul of diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives within federal agencies. Documents leaked to the press indicate that the administration is not only planning a purge of DEI programs but also targeting individuals who have championed such measures. This approach has raised alarms among civil rights advocates who argue that such actions could dismantle years of progress in promoting inclusivity within government operations. These moves are reminiscent of a bygone era where inclusivity was seen as a threat rather than a strength, said a former DEI officer who chose to remain anonymous. The implications of this shift extend beyond the immediate political arena. They could alter the fabric of federal employment and the way agencies interact with diverse communities. As the Trump administration attempts to consolidate its power, the potential for backlash from those advocating for social justice looms large. In the midst of these developments, the Department of Justice is facing scrutiny as a scandal involving Trump's legal team surfaces. Observers are noting that this could have far-reaching consequences not only for Trump but also for the integrity of the justice system itself. Legal experts have termed the situation a big deal, emphasizing that it could set a dangerous precedent for how justice is administered in politically charged environments. "The very foundation of our legal system is at stake," one expert cautioned, suggesting that public trust in the judiciary could erode if the perception of politicization continues to grow. As Europe grapples with the ramifications of these U.S. policy shifts, leaders will have to navigate a challenging landscape marked by uncertainty and potential upheaval. The importance of transatlantic relationships cannot be overstated, especially as both Zelensky and Scholz seek to reassure their constituents of continued support amidst rising concerns. Looking ahead, the evolving narrative surrounding Trump's influence and the reactions from global leaders like Zelensky and Scholz will likely shape the geopolitical landscape for years to come. Observers are encouraged to monitor these developments closely, as they will play a crucial role in determining the future of international alliances and governance. The coming months promise to be critical as both the United States and Europe confront the realities of a shifting political paradigm. In a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape, clandestine operations and intelligence strategies have become focal points in international relations, particularly between Russia and the West. A recent report from the Wall Street Journal reveals the emergence of a new spy unit within Russia, tasked with spearheading the nation's shadowy operations against Western interests. This development underscores the increasing complexity of global espionage and the lengths to which nations will go to safeguard their interests. The report details that this newly formed unit is part of a broader strategy by the Kremlin to counter perceived threats from NATO and Western alliances. Analysts suggest that the establishment of such a unit is indicative of a significant shift in Russia's approach to intelligence and warfare. Russia is recalibrating its intelligence efforts to adapt to the challenges posed by the West, utilizing advanced methods that blur the lines between traditional espionage and cyber warfare, said a source familiar with the inner workings of Russian intelligence. The unit's operations are believed to encompass a wide range of activities, including cyber intrusions, misinformation campaigns, and covert actions designed to undermine Western governments and institutions. As tensions rise, the implications of this new spy initiative could be profound. The West has already seen a marked increase in cyber attacks attributed to Russian operatives, and the potential for further escalation remains high. The impact of these developments extends beyond mere espionage. It raises significant concerns regarding national security and the integrity of democratic processes. Experts warn that the West must remain vigilant, as the activities of this unit could include interference in elections, manipulation of public opinion, and attempts to destabilize governments. This is not just about gathering intelligence, it's about influencing outcomes, noted a political analyst, emphasizing the strategic importance of propaganda in modern conflicts. Meanwhile, the technological advancements that have facilitated these operations cannot be overlooked. As nations invest in artificial intelligence and machine learning, the capabilities of intelligence units worldwide are evolving. The Russian spy unit is expected to leverage these technologies, making their operations more sophisticated and harder to detect. The line between state-sponsored actions and independent cyber-criminal activities is blurring, and that complicates the response for Western nations, added the analyst. As we look towards the future, the implications of this new Russian spy unit are far-reaching. With the potential for increased cyber warfare and misinformation campaigns, Western nations may need to enhance their counterintelligence efforts and develop more robust strategies to mitigate the risks posed by such clandestine operations. The ongoing rivalry between Russia and the West is likely to fuel further advancements in espionage tactics, making this an area of critical importance for policymakers and intelligence agencies alike. In conclusion, as the geopolitical landscape continues to shift, the emergence of Russia's new spy unit serves as a stark reminder of the intricate and often perilous nature of international relations today. The coming months and years will be pivotal in shaping how nations respond to this evolving threat, and the interplay of technology and intelligence is set to play a crucial role in this ongoing saga. In a significant diplomatic development, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has firmly rejected a proposal from the United States that would transfer ownership rights to approximately 50% of Ukraine's rare earth mineral reserves. This offer, which surfaced during a recent visit by U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to Kiev, was rooted in a broader arrangement suggested by former President Donald Trump, in which the U.S. would receive access to these valuable resources as compensation for past military assistance to Ukraine amidst its ongoing conflict with Russia. The proposal, which Trump valued at around $500 billion, has sparked a complex negotiation process. Zelensky is reported to be seeking a more favorable arrangement that ties any agreement on mineral rights to enhanced security guarantees from both the U.S. and European allies. According to sources familiar with the discussions, he envisions a multinational approach to the exploitation of these resources, involving not just American interests but also those of European nations, a stark contrast to the unilateral nature of the U.S. proposal, which emphasized past military support without clear commitments for future assistance. Zelensky expressed his ongoing engagement in negotiations at the Munich Security Conference, stating, "We are still talking," and highlighting the importance of dialogue with various partners. A senior Ukrainian official remarked that Kiev's objective is to negotiate a better deal, indicating dissatisfaction with the current terms. The proposal presented by Bessent reportedly lacks specificity regarding future U.S. security guarantees, raising concerns among Ukrainian officials about its adequacy in addressing long-term security needs. Bessent, during his meeting with Zelensky, described the arrangement as an economic agreement intended to deepen U.S.-Ukrainian economic ties. He asserted that an American presence at the mineral sites would serve as a deterrent against potential Russian aggression. However, this assertion did not alleviate Ukrainian concerns, especially given the vagueness surrounding the commitment to future military support. A particularly contentious aspect of the proposal is the stipulation that disputes over mineral rights would be adjudicated under New York law, a condition that Ukrainian officials have expressed doubts about in terms of enforceability. The document, labeled a draft as of February 7, 2025, was presented to Zelensky without prior consultation, a move perceived as undercutting the collaborative spirit needed for such negotiations. The strategic importance of Ukraine's mineral reserves cannot be overstated. These resources, which include critical materials like lithium and titanium, are essential for high-tech manufacturing and are estimated to be worth trillions of dollars. However, many of these resources are located in areas vulnerable to Russian control, complicating their future exploitation. As Zelensky continues to navigate these negotiations, he is also engaging with U.S. lawmakers and officials at the Munich conference to explore a counteroffer that might better align with Ukraine's security objectives. This ongoing dialogue reflects a broader strategy Zelensky has been developing to strengthen Ukraine's partnership with the US while ensuring that European allies also play a role in the management of Ukraine's natural resources. Looking ahead, the outcome of these negotiations will likely influence Ukraine's economic and security landscape significantly. The interplay between mineral rights, military assistance, and international partnerships will be crucial as Zelensky seeks to secure a favorable deal that not only addresses immediate economic needs but also fortifies Ukraine's long-term security in the face of ongoing hostilities with Russia. As the situation develops, the international community will be watching closely, particularly to see how US-Ukraine relations evolve in tandem with Europe's response to the shifting dynamics in Eastern Europe. On August 12, 2022, as the literary world held its breath in anticipation of an interview with Salman Rushdie at the Chautauqua Institution in upstate New York, an act of violence shattered the moment. Rushdie was attacked on stage. An incident that not only put a spotlight on the dangers faced by writers but also ignited a discussion about the role of literature in fostering empathy and community. Reflecting on that fateful day over 2 years later, Henry Reese, co-founder of the City of Asylum in Pittsburgh, shared his insights on the profound impact of fiction and how it cultivates a sense of connection among readers, often referred to as the reader effect. Reese, who was present during the attack, noted how the audience, a gathering of intentional readers, instinctively rushed to help Rushdie, an act he attributed to the empathy nurtured through reading. This phenomenon underscores a troubling reality. In an increasingly polarized society, the number of people engaging with narrative fiction is dwindling. According to a report from the National Endowment for the Arts, only 38% of U.S. adults read a novel or short story in 2022, a significant decline over the past decade. Reese argues that this lack of engagement with fiction deprives individuals of emotional and social experiences that foster understanding and tolerance. As Reese examined the implications of this trend, he cited the work of Hari Hahn, director of the SNF Agora Institute at Johns Hopkins University. Hahn posits that citizenship relies on recognizing our interdependence, a notion that resonates deeply with Rushdie's literary themes. The act of reading fiction, as research from the University of Toronto indicates, creates social experiences that enhance openness and understanding among readers. Conversely, non-readers are more likely to feel isolated and resistant to differing viewpoints, reinforcing ideological divides. In response to these challenges, Reese proposed that arts organizations could emulate the reader effect outside of traditional reading contexts. He pointed to a 2005 event at City of Asylum featuring exiled poet Huang Xiang, where a diverse audience interacted in meaningful ways, igniting a sense of community and shared experience. This suggests that creating inclusive face-to-face encounters can cultivate empathy akin to the private experience of reading. Reese's reflections come at a crucial time as the ongoing trial of Rushdie's attacker raises questions about literary freedom and the safety of writers worldwide. It also prompts a broader examination of the role of literature as a means of bridging divides in a fragmented society. As Reese concluded, fostering a reader effect among non-readers will require innovative approaches that prioritize hospitality and community building in arts programming. The future of literature and its capacity to promote empathy is uncertain. Yet the lessons learned from Rushdie's experience and the ongoing dialogue about the importance of fiction in creating a connected society remain vital. As the world continues to grapple with polarization, the challenge for artists and writers is to find new ways to engage audiences, reminding us all of the power of stories to unite and heal. In a striking turn of events, shares of GlaxoSmithKline GSK have attracted the attention of Citadel, a leading American hedge fund known for its substantial market influence. According to a report from The Times, Citadel has initiated a short position against GSK, marking the first significant short on the pharmaceutical giant's stock in over a decade. This development comes at a time when GSK has been navigating a complex landscape of market challenges and evolving growth prospects. Citadel, which manages approximately $65 billion in assets, has reportedly accumulated a net short position equivalent to 0.51% of GSK's issued share capital. This move is particularly notable as it represents the first short position that meets the 0.5% threshold requiring public notification to the Financial Conduct Authority since late 2013. Such a sizable stake indicates a significant level of skepticism regarding GSK's future performance, especially in a sector known for its volatility and regulatory complexities. Market analysts are closely monitoring this situation as GSK has faced a series of hurdles in recent years, including litigation and competition from generic drug manufacturers. The company has also been working to realign its portfolio and focus on high-growth areas, which some analysts believe could lead to a resurgence. However, the presence of a major hedge fund like Citadel taking a bearish stance raises questions about investor confidence and the company's strategic direction. While GSK has made strides in its business transformation, the market's reaction to Citadel's short position suggests that investors remain cautious about the company's ability to deliver on its growth targets, noted a market analyst who preferred to remain anonymous. The analyst further emphasized that GSK's recent legal troubles, including a lawsuit from the Arizona Attorney General for alleged deceptive practices, may have further undermined investor sentiment. In light of Citadel's actions, some analysts have adjusted their outlook on GSK. Morgan Stanley recently initiated coverage with an equal weight rating, while JP Morgan raised its price target for GSK shares from 1440 GBP to 1500 GBP. Reflecting a more optimistic view amid the prevailing uncertainty. This divergence in opinions illustrates the mixed sentiment among investors and analysts regarding GSK's future. As the market digests these developments, the potential impacts on GSK's stock price and overall market positioning remain to be seen. The pharmaceutical industry is notoriously unpredictable, and with heightened scrutiny from investors and regulators, GSK's leadership will need to navigate this challenging environment adeptly. Looking ahead, all eyes will be on GSK as it responds to Citadel's short position and continues to address the challenges it faces. The company's ability to restore confidence among investors, manage legal risks, and capitalize on its strategic initiatives will be critical in determining its trajectory in the months to come. As this narrative unfolds, the interplay between hedge fund strategies and corporate performance will undoubtedly remain a focal point for those tracking the pharmaceutical sector.